Hi, welcome to another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name's Wendy Gathercole. I'm your host. How are you this week? Each week, except for last week, I bring to you a new podcast. And these podcasts are lived experiences, what I've learned over my time, even in a week. Like I've got, three things that happened last week that I could share with you, which I will in up and coming weeks, but not today. And these things that I share with you are lived experiences. They're not scientific facts. We aren't science projects. We are human beings, living, breathing organisms. So these things that affect me in my everyday, I know they can affect others. And I bring you or share with you my wisdom on how I dealt with it and how it affected my body and my mind. And this is what my podcast is all about. It's lived experiences, not scientific facts. And it's no BS. It's just raw and real stuff. And every time I sit down to do a podcast, I do quite a few takes and I persevere because this is so important for this information to be out amongst you all. And I do make it hard for myself sometimes. So now I'm going to make it easy and talk about my new book, which will be released next year. It is called A Crohn's Solution, Healing from Inside Out, because let's face it, that's what we need to do, heal from the inside out. The inside is where all our trauma is stored. I'm going to leave it at that because I'll get too confusing for myself and I'll have to do another take. So my new book, I'm super excited about it. It has 3 parts in it. Well, that's new. My first book just was one whole book, but this one has 3 parts in it. So part 1 is knowing your body. Part 2 is 5 pillars for recovery. And part 3 is 7 principles of well-being. Put them all together and you have one big part with 12 chapters, and all of that will see you change your life if you follow my guided book, I guess. I have lots of strategies in there for you. I have a whole worksheet in how you can get more in tune with your body. I've tell you why it's important to get in tune with your body. I have examples of my life in just about every facet of this book. I would say actually in every facet of this book. In every chapter, I have something to share with you, how it's impacted me, what I use to get through it mentally and physically. And it's a learning process and everything's a practice, and nothing's perfected. You can't perfect anything because each day changes. You are always hit with something new every day. It's how you respond to it is how it affects your body. It's your response. So the 5 pillars of recovery, I've already done the Know Your Body's part 1. So that's huge. It is broken down into different sections in there along with a worksheet. But the 5 pillars of recovery are acceptance, acceptance, start again. Acceptance, commitment, awareness, non-judgment, and empowerment, which I fondly named radical self-responsibility, which you will find out why when you read the book. Okay, so those 5 pillars of recovery are really, really important for you to come to terms with how the rest of the book works, okay, or how anything works, not just my book, but in life in general, okay? The 7 principles of well-being are similar to what I've gone through in my first book, Whole Foods of Facts. The 7 principles of well-being are whole foods, naturally, water, sun, breath. I've got an insect. Not that. Relationships, movement, and I think that was 6. And I'm going to go through them again now because I spoke and I interrupted myself. Water, whole foods, breath, movement, relationships, sun, and passion. I think I just said them all once. That's the 7 principles of well-being. They still stand for me today. And the pillars of recovery are something that I didn't intentionally set out to do when I started my healing journey. I discovered these 5 pillars of recovery later on and realized that that is exactly what I did to heal. So therefore, I put that in my book because that is exactly what you need to do to heal your body or to do anything in life. It's not just healing your body, but to do anything. So, A Crohn's Solution, healing from inside out. That is what is in the book, what to expect from it, plus there's some other added extras. I've got some courses in the book that will be available by the time the book is published, which is super exciting. And I have lots of worksheets and simple steps that you can take at the end of every chapter that will shift you from where you are to where you want to be, or a simple process to show you how to use the steps that I've got written in the book. So it's really exciting for me, and it's exciting for me to bring it to you. And I can't wait. I'm super, super excited. So until next week, next week, I'm going to share how all this came about because that is super fun as well. And it was quite sort of, I don't know, maybe astonishing for me, I guess, or maybe it was just meant to be. But I will share all of that with you next week. So until then, A Crohn's Solution, Healing from Inside Out, will be available next year, and I will let you know when. If you want any more information, just send me an email or a message through any link that I put in the show notes. Okay, until next week, I will see you then. Bye.